Hey, Boomer.
Hey, good morning, man. 4 weeks in a row, Victory Monday. Nothing sweeter than that, is it?
No, I mean, right now, week after week 7, where do you put this Patriots team when it comes to the AFC?
Well, right now, they're a top 3 team. There's no question about it. I will say that the Kansas City Chiefs have really turned it on in the last 3 weeks. They've gotten their full complement of offensive players back. Their defense has been playing good all year long. So I would say they are behind them just simply because of experience and Patrick Mahomes and all the things going on out in Kansas City. But at 5-2, leading the division, I figured they were going to be a playoff team this year simply because of their schedule. That schedule seems to be getting easier by the day. Now, Mike Vrabel is not going to agree with that, and I don't blame him. I wouldn't suspect that he should. But, man, yesterday's performance and the performance the week before against New Orleans tells you all you need to know about this team. They are rounding into shape. They're not taking anybody for granted. They're beating the teams they're supposed to beat. And their young quarterback is doing things that I think the expectations are there. So all things are all systems go. They look great. We got a long way to go, of course. But right now they're doing exactly what I thought they would be doing and doing it with, I would say, some flair as well.
And Drake Maye set a franchise record yesterday with the highest single game completion percentage, 91.3. That includes the great Tom Brady, of course, in that. What he's doing so far is pretty amazing.
Well, he's also doing something else that Tom Brady didn't do, and that's adding to the rushing statistics. He also ran for over 60 yards yesterday. So what I like about him is what he said after the game. After the game, it was, I probably ran more than I should have. I probably took a sack or two that I shouldn't have done. And the guys are making plays for me. So he recognizes that, he only completed 21 of 23 passes, but still, when you keep it out of harm's way, you don't turn it over, you make key first downs, you do throw the ball down the field. I think he called himself, he doesn't want to be a check down Charlie, and he shouldn't, but that's really the secret. That's the secret sauce in the NFL. For a quarterback, take the short stuff when it's there. The deep stuff will open up eventually. And I think that's how this game played out yesterday.
Boomer, when you watch him play, Courtney always brings up his confidence level, but he just looks so comfortable back there. What do you attribute that to, like being a former quarterback, just being in the zone and feel like every throw you make, you just have unbelievable comfort that you're going to drop it on a dime?
Watching the baseball game last night, John Smoltz said you got to have a slow heartbeat to be able to pitch in Game 7. Well, you also have to have a slow heartbeat to play quarterback in the NFL, and it needs to be there each and every week. And it's called poise. I also think that he knows exactly what he's doing. He knows the offense inside and out. I think Josh McDaniels, I'll say this until, the end of the season, as long as they continue to play like this, Josh McDaniels is laying out a great plan, and he is so into it that he knows exactly what's going on. Now, the light went on for him earlier than most, for sure. Like C.J. Stroud and Jaden Daniels, they've been scuffling. They got hurt. They've been dealing with all sorts of crap going on around them. Drake Maye has got stability around him, and it looks like he's really buying into everything. So I give him a lot of credit for being ahead of where I thought he would be, but he does have great coaching around him, which certainly helps.
Boomer, I have a slow heartbeat, but it's due to diet.
Plus you're sitting on your ass most of the
time. Boomer, one thing about Drake, though, it's not the first time that we've seen him get hit and then his neck snap back, his head hit the ground. A bit of a scare yesterday. As a quarterback, are there things that he could be doing better to protect himself in those situations, or is that just part of the game?
That is part of the game, and you want to make sure you stay out of harm's way. No question about that. I saw that. I saw him do that. I saw his head snap back like that. I don't know, Courtney, if you've ever really seen me in person, but I have like a huge head, and it's really hard to stop from that happening. I think that probably happened about 30 times in my career, and in my career, they made us go back out and play. So, and nowadays, they take them over, they give them a little love, they find out how they are, they make sure that everything's fine before they put them back out on the field. So I will say that it's just part and parcel of the business, and, he's just got to be more careful, that's all.
Boomer, you were on many teams that needed to improve culture. How difficult is what Mike Vrabel is currently doing to achieve in the NFL?
Okay, so let's a couple of ingredients he does have going for him. Number one, he's got the quarterback and he's got the offensive coordinator. So that's one thing or two things he doesn't have to worry about. Number two, they spent over $300 million in free agency this offseason, and those were handpicked guys by him. And he brought in guys that were going to fit the way that he wanted to play. And number three, he played there. He's familiar with the success that they had there. He's beloved in the building. He's beloved by the owner, and by now winning, he's going to be beloved by the fan base. So he had a lot of help getting to where he's at this moment. Now he's got to get it across the finish line. So it's keep pushing, keep demanding, keep having those expectations, and keep doing what you're doing. I mean, it's been perfect. It's been like a perfect marriage. And out of the 32 teams in this league, especially the teams that changed coaches over the last 2 to 3 years, there's very few times where you see it all align the way that it has thus far for New England.
Tua played perhaps the worst game he's ever played. I'm going all the way back to Pop Warner. What is going on there?
Yeah, that's a good question. First of all, the weather was horrendous yesterday in Cleveland. Now, that is not an excuse, but still, this is a Miami Dolphin team that doesn't play good in bad weather. We've seen this time and again with both Mike McDaniel and Tua. There's internal strife there. I feel bad for Mike McDaniel. He's a quirky, unique coach, and there for a while it was working. Now it's not. Guys are turning on him, and it seems like his days are going to be numbered. I don't like talking about coaches losing jobs, but the way that Tua has played is adding to all of this because they were supposed to be unbreakable. And now I think Mike McDaniel realizes that, maybe it's not as good as it was, say, 3 years ago. So this could be the end of Mike McDaniel down there. And I think that Tua, I would be surprised if Tua is playing in another uniform next year.
Boomer, you know better than anybody else because you're down there, boots on the ground. I played with Aaron Glenn. I thought he would be able to turn that franchise around. At least when you look at the Giants, they're competitive. What's going on with the Jets that you're seeing on a week-to-week basis with
they picked the wrong quarterback, first and foremost.
Mm-hmm.
It's probably the worst quarterback situation in the league. I think there are a couple teams that are probably right there with them. But, the quarterback is supposed to inspire his team. That's exactly what Tom Brady did for 20 years in New England. That's exactly what Drake Maye is doing right now. Justin Fields does not bring any sort of confidence to anybody. And part of that is not just his play, his inaccuracy, but it's the inspiring of the team around him that he could get the job done. There are 10 guys that are looking at him. He screws up anything in the formation, the personnel grouping, the wrong check at the line of scrimmage, the snap count that's a little bit off that causes 2 or 3 false start penalties. All of that goes back to the quarterback. And by the way, this is Aaron Glenn's hand-picked guy. And so they made their first mistake. They got the wrong guy. It is a mess. Their defense has played well the last 2 weeks, but their offense is completely inept and has to be considered the worst offense in all of football.
Question of the week for Boomer is presented by McFarland Energy, the region's most dependable provider of home heating oil delivery and expert HVAC services at McFarlandEnergy.com. The 49ers get that win. I took a lot of heat for being on Mac Island when he was here. What's the difference when it comes to Mac Jones this season?
All right, so for him, it's coaching too. So his first year, he had Josh McDaniels, and he was a Rookie of the Year candidate. I would have voted him Rookie of the Year that year over Jamar Chase, and the reason for that is because he plays the more difficult position. He led his team to the playoffs, for God's sake, as a rookie. And then all of a sudden, things around him started falling apart. And then now he's in the quarterback blender where he's just trying to find a way to be able to, get his career restarted, much like Sam Darnold, much like Geno Smith, and of course Baker Mayfield. So I don't know where he'll be next year. I doubt he'll be out in San Francisco. I think he'll move on because he'll want to be a starter somewhere else. But it just goes to show you what Kyle Shanahan and that offense and Christian McCaffrey can do for a guy, because the number of quarterbacks have gone through there and they have won with Kyle. And he's just like the quarterback magician out there in San Francisco. So I think that's really what's going on. It's kind of like what's happening to Daniel Jones in Indianapolis, which may be the story of the year in the NFL right now. I mean, if you look at this after 7 games and what he has done in Indianapolis and how well they have played, and believe it or not, they're probably right there with the Patriots in terms of, a top-tier team. And one of these teams is going to get a home playoff game, maybe against each other. and it's going to be really, really important for the Patriots to continue to win and try to get those home playoff games.
Boomer, starting today and going forward for the rest of their careers, how many quarterbacks would you take ahead of Drake Maye?
Oh, wow, that's a really good question. You know, obviously there's Patrick Mahomes, there's Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson when he's healthy, Joe Burrow when he's healthy. I mean, I think he's on the way of surpassing Justin Herbert. He's certainly passed Trevor Lawrence. A lot of guys are past Trevor Lawrence, by the way, not just him. I would think, he's right there. He's, given his age, given his dual threat capabilities, given his what seems to be like his commitment to the team, commitment to the offense, commitment to the coaching staff. I mean, I think the Patriots are set up really, really well for the next 10 years at least.
Boomer, it is always great. I will see you Wednesday morning. I'm going to borrow one of your studios if that's okay down there.
Yeah,
at
that
WFAN.
sounds great to me. Maybe I'll take you out to lunch. How about it?
Oh, fantastic. I mean, I prefer to pay, but
you're paying. You're definitely paying. Yeah, okay.
All right, we'll see you.
Okay, guys.